After making Sonic Adventure 1, Sega decided to make a sequel. The only problem was the Dreamcast was failing, and it didn't sell as well.
Well, yes, the Dreamcast was a dying system, which is why Sega got made, but what do you mean by didn't sell as well? As well as what? The previous systems by Sega or the competition? If the previous systems, I think they did better than, say, the add-ons or the CDX. If by the competition, well, that would make sense. I may be nitpicking, but it just sounds like he didn't finish the statement for whatever reason.
So they made a sequel or a port.
A sequel or a port? Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is just a port to the GameCube from the Dreamcast version. How can you even describe it as a sequel? This isn't Sonic Adventure 3, it's still Sonic Adventure 2.
To the GameCube, which was almost the exact same game but with a few changed features.
Well, yeah, it's a port with a couple extra things at it. You're right. But we're not even 20 seconds in, and you're already trying too hard to make the game look bad. When a game like this is ported, of course it's going to be a port with just a couple extra things. What, do you hate HD collections of games that came out recently as well?
And Sonic fanboys bought it up. It sold far more than the Dreamcast version. Sega made the GameCube the leading platform for the next few Sonic games.
The GameCube being the leading console? You mean for Sonic Mega Collection and Sonic Adventure DX? They were released to others as well, but I guess I could cut some slack here, since they were released after the GameCube version.
And Sega fanboys will continue to praise Sonic Adventure 2 as the best Sonic game, and say everything afterwards sucked.
Really? I thought fanboys agreed that Sonic CD was the best overall, and the Adventure games were the best 3D games. I guess I listened to the wrong people. Who cares about opinions?
But is it really that good? Let's find out. When you first start the game, you will see cutscenes. And what is this time, you may ask? This time you see a random helicopter. What does this really have to do with Sonic, and why are there helicopters in the Sonic game that are not Eggman and stuff?
Assuming you picked the hero story first, but this is an odd thing to say. What do I mean by this? Well, let's try some other games out. So, you start Metal Gear Solid 2 with cutscenes, and there's a random bridge. What does this have to do with Metal Gear? So you start Majora's Mask with cutscenes, and we're in a forest. Why are we in a forest that isn't related to Hyrule? Why do you start Mega Man X with a villain that isn't Dr. Wily? Why do you start Mario 2 in a place that isn't the Mushroom Kingdom? Why do you start Ripto's Raging? Okay, I'm done. See? It's pointless and holds no ground. Again, you're trying way too hard to make the game look bad too soon within the video.
Then after you hear Seinfeld music, you find out that Sonic escaped from a lame helicopter, which was capturing him. Apparently that helicopter was owned by a group named Gun, but you don't know that when you start.
Assuming you know nothing about Sonic or didn't read the manual, yeah, you'd have no idea who Gun are. Excuse me, G-U-N.
Instead, you see the trademark of Sonic Adventure is back. Low-budget cutscenes.
What do you mean by low budget? Did anyone honestly think that when they played these games? You're pretty much in the minority here. Whenever someone ever reviews Sonic Adventure 2, they never mention the cutscenes having a, quote, low budget. And considering Sega at the time, they probably had a good enough budget to make the cutscenes not look like shit. You can tell what the characters are doing. It's not like anything looks awkward in any of the cutscenes, at least not from what I can remember.
I like running better.
Just look at those lips, and the ways all the movements are just spasms. Oh my god. This looks like Chuck E. Cheese again.
Is there anything you have to say about the plot itself? The characters? The actions? The reasoning behind certain things? I'll just spoil it just once. Otherwise, he says the characters spaz out, and the movements are like Chuck E. Cheese. For the time, the movement seems pretty fluent to me. At least fluent enough to make it work and not be awkward. Seriously, that's all he does through these few cutscenes he goes through. Spasm and Chuck E. Cheese! Which is why after this, I would just cut down and bridge the cutscene parts.
And by the way, just look at that low resolution ground. You'll be seeing that a lot when you die.
Care to provide an example? Because the only bottomless holes there are in City Escape are black voids. But I guess you're not going to show us that, are you?
The first level, City Escape, is your typical Sonic level. You go fast, you try not to
Hit it! Oh, come on!
You hope there isn't a cheap death, and, well, it's more of the same from Sonic Adventure. It starts off as pretty much of a clone of the snowboarding level, where you jump to gain speed and stuff. And, just like that, that's pretty much all there is to it. You skate down, press A in the boards, or in the orange thing.
Seriously, quit hitting the wall!
It's not that great. Same with the music. The music is really bad. Just listen to this corny music. It sounds like a bunch of kids trying to imitate hair metal.
A bunch of kids? Doing, what? I guess you never heard Kids Bop. No, I'm not going to provide an example.
And Omochow. You will get to hate him because all he ever does is annoy you. However, once you find out you can toss him around, the game gets a lot more fun.
You can avoid running into him. Also, he's meant for tutorial purposes. Although, I'll give you some credit. Hey, everybody hates Omochow.
Just like Sonic Adventure 1, the camera sucks. So you'll be jumping around trying to figure out what to do because the camera is too busy having a spinny spree where it's spinning around all over the place and you can't know what you're doing.
Oh, come on! Either try somersault or just mood 4. And I never, ever recall being in that situation. Seriously, I just think you're not really good at this game. And I'm not just saying that out of some sort of, oh, you just suck. I've played this game enough to confidently say such a thing.
Just like in Adventure 1, there are plenty of cheap deaths that Tommy Wiseau would approve of.
You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip.
Okay, 1, unrelated clip for no reason why. 2, you aim your homing attack based on where the analog stick is aimed at the time. In that situation, you could have either aimed down right to hit the other gun, G-U-N, robot, not do the homing attack and wait to land after you hit him, or aim up and not go down the easy-to-avoid bottomless hole.
You also get a heavily scripted big truck scene. It looks like it was only added just to show off the power of the Dreamcast. As in, oh my god, this game is awesome.
Actually, it's meant for holy shit moment.
It's also a carbon copy of the Killer Whale from Sonic Adventure 1.
Well, yes, because it's a sequel to Sonic Adventure 1. It's there to remind you, hey, remember this? Well, now there's this version of it. It's to have kind of a theme going, if you know what I mean.
And it's really easy. All you gotta do is hold down and you win.
Not unless you want all the rings for one of the chances to get an A rank on the stage. Or to show off.
This game of
Afterwards,
tag is boring.
you get another bad cutscene, which is Chuck E. Cheese quality.
See what I mean?
The most common boss battle in 3D Sonic history. The run around in circles and hit the giant robot in the head boss battle. Seriously, plenty 3D Sonic and there's about 15 of these bosses.
15? Dude, you're over-exaggerating. There's only 3, and each have something different. Shadow's fight has lasers, and Rouge's fight has one constantly in the air. You make it sound like they're all the same. And if you want battles that are all the same, try the ending boss fights in Shadow the Hedgehog.
And half the time this boss doesn't even work, because half the time you'll chide cheaply from the bullets hitting you and not hitting the roof.
Okay, hitting the roof? What do you mean by that? And you actually got hit by the bullets? This is the easiest boss in the game, and you got hit by an easy-to-avoid attack? Thanks for proving my point that you don't know how to properly play this game.
Spazzams. Spazzed. The military in this game is stupid. How can they mistake Shadow with Sonic? Unless they're admitting that they're both crappy recolors. And I doubt it's that, because they should be at least smarter than that. After all, have you guys ever heard of, color blindness? Because it seems like this military is colorblind. They can't detect a blue hedgehog from a black hedgehog.
My God! He actually made a good point! Too bad it involves the story, not gameplay, and it's what everyone who plays this game points out. Sorry, that didn't earn you a gold star.
Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Everyone is spazzing around. Spaz! 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 He didn't even hit it and it blew it up. That's gotta be the weakest emerald ever.
See what I mean about this spasm crap he keeps spewing out? Also, Knuckles is a very strong character, and he's the guardian of the Master Emerald. So, logically, he should be able to break the Master Emerald in case of an emergency, such as this.
One quick thing. Just to show you a cutscene from a better game for comparison, this is the very first cutscene from a 2000 Xbox game called Halo. This game has many features such as character emotion, characters moving around and not just spazzing out, proper lip sync, and features that you wish Sonic Adventure 2 had. In other words, this is a better game. Just look at it.
They were waiting for
Then go
us
back
on
to
the
looking
far
at
side of the
Sonic
planet.
Adventure 2. It's painful.
So, where do we...
So you compare the cutscenes from a realistic-looking sci-fi game to a very cartoony game. That totally makes sense to me.
They decide to dump the hub worlds, they decide to keep Knuckles, and his stages. These stages are bad. Same with the music. This is not rap. This is wannabe rap. Or it's music they play at Sears when you're shopping for clothes. I can totally imagine this music being played at Sears when you're trying to buy clothes.
Okay, let's try it!
This is Knuckles, and I'm back. I've been away for a while, but I'm back to kick some butt in Wild Canyon. I shall find all the lost pieces of the Master Emerald here.
I don't see it.
As for the level, all you do is you look through emeralds. You gotta look for 10 minutes, and it's even more broken than last time, because you know the chaos meter? The chaos emerald thing? It only tells you the one that's closest to you, so if there's 2 near you, then you can't find 2 at once. It makes it even more annoying and more tedious than in Sonic Adventure.
No, that's not how the Emerald Radar in SA2 works. It lets you know if you're near a certain emerald, not the closest one. I know that may make it seem worse, but if you're going to do a review, you should get info like that correct.
And yeah, these are treasure hunting levels. Just like Sonic Adventure.
Really? I thought we were fighting terrorists, not looking for treasure.
It's like they kept the bad features for you. Next.
Next? Okay.
Well, actually, you're going to be seeing these a lot, because actually, this game is annoying like that. You have to play through each character's levels. So next.
Playing through levels in a game? No, never heard of such a concept. Also, did you script this? Because now we're moving on, instead of when you first said, next.